Okay, lad, welcome to today's video, and in this one we will be showcasing a farm for the bug capsule A type version. As always, all factory showcases that you see in these videos are always fully modular, which means you can infinitely replicate them as long as you have the depot space. All of the factories you see here are 100% efficient, which means they only use the exact amount of items you need, and there will never be any clogging as long as you're able to supply enough items. And all of the factory blueprints showcased here are fully compatible with any other video that you see on my channel, which means that you can easily place one next to another and not interfere at all. So just to give you a quick overview of how the factory works, I'll explain it in a bit more detail, but yeah, we're entering the territory where I'm not even able to cover all of the factory with a single blueprint. So for this video, the blueprint will be made of two parts. So as you can see, I'll share the codes for both of those. For whoever is in the Asian server, if you do recreate it, feel free to post a comment with your own code. I'll make sure to pin it. And yeah, the way this works is the factory is big, and unfortunately, while I can select the whole thing, I am not able to save it because it gives me an error of essentially there's too much happening in this selected area, so I'm not able to save a single blueprint. But the way it works is it can be saved with two blueprints. So I'll quickly just delete it just to show you how it works and how to place it. So if we remove this completely, and if we go into the blueprint section, so I have them labeled. I don't know if they will be labeled like if you see this information here, but I've labeled them. One of them is right and other one is left. So basically this is the left side and the right side. So if you're placing it on the left side, place the left one first and then the right one after. If you're placing it next to a right side wall, place the right one first and then the left one. So we're placing on the left wall. So essentially what you have to do is you just need to perfectly align the bottom of the unloader with the wall that you're aligning to, right? So this is the left part of the factory. As you can see, it will not work until you put the second part. So we add the second part, which is the right side, and for this one you have to align with the left of with the last left unloader. So if we do it like this, as you can see, just so the right side of the left unloader and the left side of the right unloader will be timed, and if you do this perfectly, everything will start working, and in the end you'll see that you will be able to receive bug capsule A in your factory. Now again, this factory is running at 100% efficiency. There are no byproducts or anything like that, so everything is renewable. You don't need to do any additional plants or anything like that. And as it runs at 100% efficiency, it produces, as usual, 6 items per minute, because one item takes 10 seconds to produce. Now, because of its size, I believe the size of it in total is, let me quickly check. So it is 30 squares wide and it is 47 squares high. So you are, once you fully max out the hub, you are able to place 2 of them side to side. As you can see, these are 2 of the same factory, and in the empty space that you are left with 10 squares. You can even place some sort of like a small factory that you have as well. So for example, this is like a small 880 power factory that I have, which you can also fit in here as long as you have the resources, right? For the resources themselves, I have them written here. So in total, you will need 240 ferrium per minute. You'll also need a bug flower and a sand leaf plant. However, you do not need to have a lot of it. Ideally, try to have around 100 of each, just to ensure that the process can run continuously, because if you have too few, you'll run into an issue where you're not able to supply all of the machines at once. And if you have too many, there could be an issue where you will experience some clogging, as this machine that produces the seeds that you use. As you can see, the leftover sand leaf is going into the protocol stash here, and the leftover buckwheat is going into the protocol stash here to be sent back to the base, right? Now, for anyone in the Asian server copying it, I'll try to line it up so you can screenshot the screen and build it into Go. So this is the first part. Let's say we can see until where can we see? We can see until the bottom of this grinder. So this is the first part. And then we can, oh, looks like I won't even be able to fit in two. Yeah, we'll need to do in 3 screenshots. So from the bottom of the grinder until the top first definer here. And this is the third part. Ignore the top part, this is my HQ. All the way until here, where you will receive the final capsules and put them in the stash, or if you want to use them, you can put them wherever you want, right? So yeah, this is how the factory looks like. Now, quick overview of how it works. So for the ferrum parts, we are feeding all 8 of them into the refineries. There are gaps to ensure that I'm able to power all of them up with these electric pylons, and then I'm feeding all of them into the shredders. These are nicely aligned, so they don't take much space. As you can see, 8 shredders here, all producing the ferrum powder. Then that powder is fed into 4 different grindstones. Because all of the shredders are packed together, you do need to work around it with a bit more space. So this is the space that I made for grinders. Later on, I realized that I could potentially maybe lower the grindstones by 1 or 2 blocks, but that would require me reworking the whole factory. So if you're building this by hand, you can do this. If not, feel free to keep this, because again, the main issue is not the height of the factory, it's gonna be the width of it. And the width you're simply not able to deduce in any way. So yeah, 4 factories, as you can see, each of them is receiving 2 of the ferrum powder and 1 sandleaf powder, which is getting produced. 3 of them are getting produced in this shredder, and another one is being produced in another shredder right here. We also, because the shredders in total will produce 6 oxygen powder instead of the 4 that we need for the grinders, these are being fed into the other grinding units, which do require the sandleaf powder as well. So instead of making the new one, I redirected the 2 extra powders into the additional grindstones, and they're producing the second item that we need, which is the grounded buckflower powder. Now for the these grindstones, once they have all 4 of the dense ferrum powders produced, as you can see, those are being fed into 4 different refining units, making the steel, and then molding units, which take 2 steel and produce 1 bottle. So each of them are getting 2 inputs into there, and those bottles are going into the final filling unit, which is the first item that we need. Now for the seeds themselves, so for the sandleaf, as you can see, I'm duplicating them here. One of them gets duplicated as an extra seed because we'll need it more. The second one is being fed back to the base instantly because I had quite a bit of space here that I had nothing to do with, so I just placed the feeding there. This one is duplicating the seeds again, and now they're going to the 2 seeders right here. So this one will be making 2 powder for the grinders and 1 extra going to the other grinding station. And then this one will also be producing 2 powders that I needed for ferrum, and the third one is going back to the grinding unit for the powder, right? Now for the buckflower, this one was a bit difficult to place because I wanted to produce it here, but because of the size of the seeders, I'm simply not able to fit any of them here. So yeah, all of those are essentially, I just seeded the buckflower into 2 seeds, and then I fed them pretty much all the way until the end of the factory. In here, as you can see, one of them is going straight for powder, so 2 powder is being produced for this grindstone, and the other is going for additional seeders, right? So one of those seeds is getting phased to a planter, which is going back to the base, and the second one is being pushed to this planter, which is later shredding the powder for our second grindstone unit. And once we have 2 of these materials, as you can see, one of them is going here, and the second one, with a very close bridge, is going to the final filling unit as well. And yeah, we're ending up with a production of 6 per minute. If you stack 2 of these, you can produce a total of 12 per minute. Unfortunately, there is not enough space to place a third one in here, so if you have some additional depot space, you will want to place some smaller items. I myself just have a little battery factory here producing the power for this factory. So yeah, it takes a very small amount of space plus materials that I have to spare. So it works out in that regard. And yeah, that's pretty much how it works. You can find all of the blueprints and the playlist for all other factories available in there. And soon rather, I don't know, maybe today or tomorrow, I'll also have a factory for the highest, or maybe like the higher tier batteries, which is HC Valley battery. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.